This is an in-defense video, which means any movie that is considered rotten on Rotten Tomatoes, and basically this is an argument saying that it maybe doesn't deserve...
Yeah, and not just Rotten Tomatoes, although that is a good yardstick.
Yeah.
But it's movies that are generally considered to be, you know, a failure. Not good movies, but if you've got a soft spot for it, then...
Not just a soft spot, I think I've got
you've got a genuine case why you think it's underrated.
Yes. It's the 1976 version of King Kong.
Take it away. You can go crazy. Talk all you want, because I don't like this movie, so...
I really like this movie.
You go for it.
One thing I can't defend in the movie is the tagline of the poster. The most exciting original motion picture of all time. So, a few things I need to get out of the gate first.
Mm-hmm. Like Kong coming out of the gate.
Like monkey sound, like ape sound.
That sounds better than the
A few things out of the gate first. I am not saying this is the best of the three. Mm-hmm. If there's a fire and you can only save one of the main King Kong movies, this is the, you know, big ape falls in love with an actress, you're going to save the original.
Yeah.
The 1933 version is a cinematic milestone, yeah. And the Peter Jackson 2005,
about 5, 6?
Before The Lovely Bones and after Lord of the Rings. His version is really good as well. It's enjoyable. It's enjoyable mess of a movie, which this version, with this 1976 version, is as well. It's not a perfect movie. There's a lot of problems with it. I have a real soft spot for this 76 movie, not just because I grew up on it. It might be because I grew up on it. But I think that this captures the romance between the giant ape monster and the blonde actress, and then the two humans romance.
Yeah, I think you've got a point with the romance thing, because the Fay Ray Bruce Cabot, there's not a huge amount to their romance, I think.
No.
And with the Naomi Watts,
Adrian
Brody, it's essentially forgotten in the last third of the movie.
Yes.
So your point, I think, about Jessica Lange and Jeff Bridges, it being the only Kong movie that really makes sense of their romance, is probably a fair point. They waste a lot of time chatting to each other the first third of the movie as well.
Yeah. Jeff Bridges is the most likable of the three Kong movies in terms of he's not the protagonist, but he's sort of in this he basically is a fantastic actor, and I really like him in this. The script of this movie isn't great.
There is a girl out there who might be running for her life from some gigantic turned-on ape.
Yeah. So none of the actors have a lot to work with.
Least of all, Jessica Lange.
Well, Jessica Lange's character literally just floats into the movie. The 1933 set movies, she's an actress and they're going off to this island. In this one, they're going to the island to find oil. So they sort of force her in, and she just is swept up. She's in a boat crash and she arrives. And her character is ditzy, to say the least.
D-W-A-N, Dwan. That's my name. You know, like Dawn, except I switched 2 letters.
She wears very little running around the boat and the island. Kong is infatuated with her, and so is the cameraman. Like, it's all, Jessica Lange. And it's a shame, because Jessica Lange is a fantastic actress. And this is her debut, and basically she's got to play the ditz. And the film makes sure to make you say, isn't this woman beautiful? And then when Kong is looking at her, or Jeff Bridges, or Charles Grodin...
When Kong is sort of doing that...
He puts her under a water. He just gets her t-shirt.
He almost
wet.
drowns her. Yeah. He he's the horniest of all three of the Kongs.
Yeah.
He's a pervert, really. Look at his eyes lighting up there.
This is the Kong movie, which is all about his obsession with her. Even at the end, it's not about the flashing of the cameras and him being chained. It's him looking at her, which I really like in this movie because I think their connection and their romance is actually, well, I barely call it a romance, but her acknowledgement of the fact that he really cares about her, I think is really sweet. In this version, the natives on the island, when they give up sacrifices to Kong, they put them in hay wigs. Because basically he loves blondes. Like he loves
Gentlemen
blondes.
and Kongs prefer blondes.
Yes.
He cannot get enough.
Especially their actresses.
Oh wow.
And
not successful actresses either.
No.
Struggling, blonde. Yeah, that's my kind of sacrifice.
I'm a giant ape on I live on Skull Island looking for a struggling blonde actress. I like the ape in this. I know that it is Rick Baker in a suit.
It looks so bad.
Yeah, the walking shots are bad, but my favourite thing about this Kong is his eyes. There's a lot of emotiveness behind the eyes.
His face is the best part of the ape.
And then when they do have the giant ape at the end, when they just have him there, it doesn't look great, and that clearly costs the most.
If you watch it, I mean, it looks stiff, it looks bad, it looks like they probably couldn't get it working very well. None of the Kongs are perfect. The first one is sort of great because it's the original, this stop motion puppet, but it's just a real joy to look at. I think you have to give a fair amount of credit to Andy Serkis for his performance. I think he did a pretty good job of, because he's now making a career of just playing apes in movies.
Yeah.
That opened a lot of ape doors for him. But that's the thing is, in the original and this, it's not an ape. It's a monster. Yeah, I think in Peter Jackson's, he's a massive ape.
That's fair. And it doesn't sound like it goes.
It goes. It doesn't go. What the neighbours must think is acting.
I know you're not a big fan of him in this film, but I really like Charles Grodin as well.
I think he overacts in this.
Holy mother! That looks as old as the pyramids of Egypt.
He hams it up, definitely. He is the nearly twiddling his moustache oil baron villain, but he's just such a prick. I love that he's getting massages throughout it. He constantly says, "I'm the man in charge."
I'm in charge.
He's about oil. He's basically Mr. Big Bad Guy, but from a vanity standpoint, which I think is a more interesting thing than just going like, all of it comes from his greed. I like that he gets his comeuppance. I like the guy who brings Kong back to, basically kills all these people, at least dies along with them. While in other movies, he just kind of goes, "Whoo!"
We're millionaires, boys. I'll share it with all of you.
It was beauty killed the beast.
Things I really like about this version of King Kong, the cinematography is outstanding.
A lot of it is very good.
The location photography.
I think the photography in the first half of the movie when they're on Skull Island, a lot of that is very, very good.
You have a real cruise ship, and they're sailing through the ocean. A lot of kind of like, see people move down below. When they get to Skull Island, it's
the first shot of them on the beach when they reach is very, very good.
They do location photography in Hawaii, and then you've got all these extras with flaming torches and stuff. And
it is kind of D.W. Griffith style. Hundreds of extras, a great big set.
Yeah, they actually do it. So visually, I think it's remarkable. John Barry's score.
Yeah, very good.
It's fantastic. I mean, John Barry did a load of Bond movies. He did Out of Africa. He is an astonishing composer. And I think he does create a very romantic, adventurous score to this as well. And the final third, the attack on New York, it's it's maybe the worst of the attacks on New York. I do think that there is a bit when he attacks a train, which was the Universal ride, really, wasn't it? He attacks a subway train and he rips it apart, and you get the people in the train. There's a great bit where he picks up he assumes it's his blonde actress, and it's like
Jessica Lange.
She's not an actress, and he just flings her off. It's horrible. Also, when King Kong throws an explosive at some soldiers and murders them. Can you just say yes?
Dirty, rotten bastards!
Kong gets shot by the helicopters that arrive. They blast him to pieces. Really violent.
It's like that guy in RoboCop who's murdered by...
On the desk. Ed 209 arrives and shoots the shit out of Kong.
Yeah.
You've 10 seconds to get off that building.
But I like her being with Kong as the heartbeat slowly dies.
As he eventually goes.
They have it in Batman Begins, where Bruce Wayne as a kid listens to his father's heartbeat, and there's that thing when you hear a heartbeat as a child or as anyone, and that horrible realization that that's the thing that will stop is something that is but it is something that's deeply upsetting. I think all three Kong movies are good, and I don't think this middle Kong movie should be relegated. I don't think it should be put aside. I think this one, I actually think this is up there with the other two.
Well, there you go. Yep, you've not convinced me, but I still don't think this is a great movie. But
I'm not saying it's a great movie.
I still don't think it's a good movie, but
no, I think it's a good movie. I think this is a really,
fair enough.
Really touching, romantic adventure odyssey that you go on with Jessica Lange, Jeff Bridges, and Rick Baker in a suit.
A gorilla suit.
A gorilla suit.
Just Rick Baker in a suit.
But do let us know your thoughts on the King Kong movie so far. Do you think Skull Island where's that going to rate in it? Let us know what you thought of King Kong Lives. The Linda Hamilton.
Also, we might do more of these. So
yeah, movies that are considered shit.
And you think, fuck off, this is great.
This is a great movie. Look on Rotten Tomatoes, and there's a lot. We've got a list already, but if there's any movies
might do more of these. Depends how much beer we've got. Cheers.